Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm going to continue on with these methods, okay? So what we want to do is, the cards that are being dealt to the person, we now want to convert it to a key. So it's going to be like one of these, it's going to be like this, ace, ace. For instance, at the moment we've got 8 and 8. We might have an 8 and an 8. And we need to convert it to a card that we can use. And then we'll be able to, that thing, I'll call this a timetable. Once we convert it to one of these, all the hands we need to convert it to one of these. Once we convert it to one of them, then we can sort of say, if the hand what we have fits on this, then the player hasn't bossed, and we can decide on the timetable what do they do with this hand. Okay. So I'm gonna start it now, and the first thing I'm gonna do is use a destructor. I need to get my cards out. I need to get my cards from the object equals this. Okay, so that will save me a lot of time just by doing that alone. Next thing we'll have to do is set up a loop. So I'm going to copy and paste it in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I don't know where that came from. Well, I'll cut that, and I'll put this on the end there. I just need to check something there. Okay, I just need to check that everything's fine. Okay. Okay, that's right. So I'll put that there just to make me know where the end, because this method is going to be a long method. So I don't want to get confused with it. So that's the end of the. Let me just see something. That's the end of that. I'm just checking something. Okay, that's alright. One second. I just need to check something out. Okay, I think I've made a mistake somewhere. So what I've done is that is extra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse back what I did. Okay, I think that's enough. Now what it is, I need to identify what the extra is, and I think that this is the extra thing. If I just take that out, then that should fix everything. And I can tell by just closing everything up. Okay? So if I close everything up, and then if I open this back up, can you see when I click on that one, it selects there, so it tells you that they're matching. That one selects there. Okay, so with that fixed now, I can carry on where I left off. So I'll put the loop back in. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'm going to do it because I'm going to just start again. Let's just start again. In fact, let's start again from here. Let me just test something. So there's 2 spaces. Okay. So I'm going to start again. Next. Then my cards equal this. Then I'm going to put the loop in. Okay, now I'm going to put this in. Loop, and that should prevent me making mistakes. So I know that that's the end of the class. That's how I spotted it last time. I realized that was the end of the loop. So that should have been the end of the class. and that is end of the, that is the end of the method, and that is the end of the class. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with this loop is I want to just make it a bit easier for myself, so I'm going to put the standard thing in, which is really standard. So I'm going to copy and paste it in. I'm just going to copy and paste in that standard thing. So that is just to prevent confusion. Okay, and then let me open this up. As you can see, each card has got a property on it called cards. So if I loop through this object and I came to this object and this object hasn't got cards on it, that means I need to just stop looking, because as soon as I come to an object without cards, I need to just stop looking. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I want to paste something in, and I'm going to use a backbone method called has. So it's going to look at this item and has it got the property cards? If the answer is false, then I need to just break and stop, jump out of this loop. So if this ever comes true, it's just going to jump out of the loop and stop doing anything, because it means that the object hasn't got property called cards on it. So if we look back here you will put the card property on if it's actually giving them a card. Okay. So that's done. So the next thing I need to do is I need to get the card length. How much cards have you got? Have you got 2? Have you got 3? 1? So I need the card's length. So that will get me the card length there. I'm going to use that for various things. I'm going to add some properties on to I'm going to paste them all in. Let me just see. So what it is, this object is going to get passed to somewhere else. So we need to know whether the cards have been split, whether they've been what is the split count, and if the cards have been doubled. Okay, we need to just check quickly. So that will tell you if it's doubled. That will tell you if it's split. But we need to also know when we're working out the winnings. We need to know when it was split and when it was doubled for working out the winnings. Okay. So we're going to pass this object to elsewhere, and that other elsewhere would need to know whether it's been split. So with that in mind, I have to put some properties on it. And what this basically does is, if it hasn't got the property, it puts the default on for split, doubled, and split count. So the split would mean, if we split with a pair of aces, split would be equal to 11. Split count is, if we had a pair of 8s and then we split it, the count is 1. If we had a next 8 come in, we split it again, so the count would be 2, etc., etc. And that way, I can probably, if I wanted to, I could set limits to the amount of times you can split. Okay, so that's why that's required. So under here now, under here, when the user gets the first card, we can't do any of this with one card. Our blackjack game goes, the user gets dealt 2 cards and then they think, what hand have I got? So with this chart, it doesn't work unless the user's got 2 cards. So what I'm going to do is, we're in a loop here. I'm going to put a line in that will say, if the card length is less than 2, we need to just continue. We don't break, because the reason why we don't break is the person might have 1 card here and they might have, so we have to look at all the cards. So what it is, if we look at this card and there's only got 1, like things that this has only got 1 card, we break. Now it may be the case that we go to this one and this one's got 2 cards. For instance, it might be like this. Okay. So we have to we have to just continue. Okay. So that means if this line here, where I am here now, anything under here means that you've got 2 cards in your hand. Okay. So we've got 2 cards here. So what I want to do is we need to get when we get here, what we are trying to do is convert the cards into this key. Okay, that's what we're trying to do, so that we can look it up on the times table. So what we need to do, we need to know how many aces are in the hand, because aces count as 1 or 11. So we need to know how much aces are in the hand. So I'm going to do a little filter equal item dot cards dot filter M, and we're just interested in the length. So that will tell us how much aces we have. Now the total we created this thing called summary. Here it is here. I want to just copy it, and I'm going to put this in the destructor, so that will get passed down. So that will make it coding a bit easier. So what I can do is I want the total count. And it's going to be item dot. So that's just going to tell us how much that's the maximum we've got. Because if I had 2 aces, some of them will tell us that we've got 22. So I also need to get the total minimum. Okay? The total minimum is going to be the minimum amount. For instance, if we had 2 aces, the total minimum would be 22. Now you can get the total minimum from the total count and the amount of aces that you've got. It's simply a case of total minimum equals total count minus 8 count times 10. Okay, so that will give us the total minimum. So if we've got 0 aces, as you can see, total count, if we've got 0 aces, the total min would equal the total count. Okay. And the last variable I'm going to do before I start the video is the real count. And this would be the count which is the most important one, and it will be the one that we'll be using to assess the value of the hand. The reason why this is important is when we're trying to work out who has won. If someone's got 2 aces, the total count will be the total count is 20. The total count will be 22. The total min is 2. But that doesn't make sense. If someone's got an ace and a pair of aces, that would count as 12. So the real count will be 12. So it will be the real amount. If someone's got an ace and an 8, the ace and 8 could be either 19 or 9. However, the real count will be 19. Okay, so that's what the real count is for. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video here, and I'll continue on this method in the next one. So far we've added the properties on not required. We've added that switch, and we've also filled in some variables that we need, but we haven't done real count because it's not as simple as the other ones. Okay, so I'll stop the video for now. Until next time, thanks for watching my video. Bye.